Bash Bros movies, and today we're gonna be reviewing Jessica Jones. We're doing these backwards for whatever reason.
Because I feel like it.
Reason doesn't matter, but Jessica Jones was the show that I binged over a weekend when it first came out. And a lot of people, it got mixed reviews, but I loved it.
We loved it.
We both loved it. And I think more so than most people. But I was very curious about how they were gonna do Jessica Jones, because she's a different character from what Daredevil was, and I'm not gonna say more powerful, but she has more strength. Like she is more powerful. So, and her whole character is one of the, she's a minor character in the comic books. And she's mostly known as Luke Cage's wife. So I was very curious what they were gonna do with this series, because there's a lot, considering just those two factors alone, three factors alone, they can do pretty much anything. So, and it turned out that this was the series that introduced us to Luke Cage, who at the time when Jessica Jones met him, he already went through some stuff, and he has been doing let's just say he's been doing some superheroing on the side, vigilantism, so to speak, because that's basically what they are, because they're not endorsed by SHIELD or Avengers or government or whatever, because they're doing things on the streets on their own. Nobody really knows who they are or what they're doing, except few people do find out. And Jessica Jones, her background story comes to light pretty soon, and the whole deal with her character is she does private investigating on the side. She's usually mostly drunk, so as far as that goes, she's not the best example for kids alone. And needless to say, these shows aren't for little kids anyway, so it's I mean, they're dark and gritty and bloody. And Jessica Jones, I'm not gonna say even more so than Daredevil was, even though she was, but there's other graphic stuff in there too. And this is the season where we actually get, because as I said, it's not a major spoiler, so if you're not familiar with the characters, as I said, in the comic books, she's mostly known as Luke Cage's wife. So in this series, she gets introduced to Luke Cage. They have a thing together, and can I just say that scenes with superhero sex are just simply amazing, because we've never seen anything like that on TV before.
We did actually in Smallville.
Okay.
That happened. That's a story for another time. But let's talk about,
because it wasn't.
Let's talk about what makes this series stand out.
Please do.
And that is the best villain in any Netflix series up to date. If we take into account that Punisher isn't technically a villain.
Are we just talking about Marvel Netflix series?
Marvel Netflix series.
Okay. Because Netflix says...
Probably another Netflix series, but that's a story for another time. David Tennant as Kilgrave, or the Purple Man.
Purple Man, yeah.
He does a fantastic job as being a villain. If you're a Doctor Who fan like me, after seeing him being the 10th Doctor, he's kind of a nice guy. And to see him switch to this dark villain, and to say that he's spectacular at doing it,
yeah, it's
an understatement. He does a fantastic job.
I just make one thing clear: you're the Whoian. I've seen few episodes, but other than that, I don't really care for Doctor Who as much as you.
When you see him being the 10th Doctor, and then when you see him being Kilgrave, just the whole. But the man can act.
Oh, by far.
Man can act, and like I said, there's a reason why he's the best villain, and David's acting has a lot to do with it. I'm not saying somebody else couldn't come in and done a
better job,
or is a gooder job. I don't know, probably could have, but to see David do it the way that he did it, he sticks out.
Definitely.
And he ends up being a perfect villain to Jessica Jones.
The whole background story of how Jessica Jones became who she was, I'm gonna say is thanks to him, because he had as much, he deserves the credit for making her who she is, but it's her own strength and her own will and determination to become a better person than what he made her to be, because he's been using her, and like his power is telepathy. He's like a form of telepathy slash mind control, because he can make anyone do anything. And so it's like just the sheer force that he has over his victims is unbelievable, to say the least. I don't think we've ever seen that form of mind control ever on TV, but I don't know.
We're not saying nobody else could do it. It's just the way that it's portrayed hasn't been done in such a way.
As far as we know, we haven't seen all TV shows that exist, so maybe it was done before.
Movies do it from time to time. You have Charles Xavier goes full control over everybody.
Yeah, but he does it in different ways. Like
it's a different way that he does it, and then there's the whole tying to the Luke Cage that hasn't happened yet,
and even
with the death of his wife, and the whole time that we kind of figure out later on, even in Luke Cage, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
has been going on
with Luke Cage. Even though we get glimpses of his past, we don't necessarily get a lot.
We don't get to see it till we actually see Luke Cage,
but we get a lot about him.
But it's also nice to see it there.
Yeah, and also like Jessica Jones has this neighbor Malcolm, who's a junkie, or ex-junkie. And like or both, and he's like one of those characters that also stands out, even though he doesn't have anything special about him. Like he's just a normal dude who struggles with his addiction, pretty much. And he also gets used by Kilgrave, and
then he kind of understands what she's going through, and then he tries to help her out.
And he's been trying to help her out. Like he's like one of these dudes, like. Usually what he does, he comes in just to, I don't know, check up on her, talk to her, because he's lonely. He doesn't have anyone to talk to, and because she's suffering with alcoholism, they kind of have this addiction thing in common. But then there's also her sister, and her sister's Trish, and is Jerry Hogarth, the Carrie-Anne Moss's character. Like, was she dating Trish, or
no, I think they work together.
Yeah, but it's like they're all lesbian, and there was like her secretary is also her ex. There was like thing with lesbianism too, like there's like. Anyways, I don't remember who dated who. It's been a while since we've seen Jessica Jones.
Show came out 18 months plus ago, so
yeah, some of the details are lost on us, but it was nice seeing Jerry Hogarth appearing in Iron Fist, and she appeared briefly, if I remember, also in Luke Cage. But I could be wrong. Or was it Daredevil season 2? Daredevil season 2.
I think so. But she gets she shows up in.
She gets a lot. Like
basically, Netflix is already tying everything together before the Defenders come out. Basically, just tying people together, and mixing them up, and showing them how they relate to each other.
Yeah, and one of the complaints about Jessica Jones was that one police officer whose side arc with all those drugs. The complaint was like he took you away from he distracts from the main story of the show.
Well, he doesn't, because one of the main story would be how Kilgrave actually uses people around Jessica to influence her, to hurt her in the way. And that police officer is just another one that Kilgrave uses, and then he kind of comes back from being controlled by Kilgrave, and then he tries to kill the guy.
But
because now he knows what it's like when somebody else is controlling you. He doesn't like it. And it shows you what he can do to a man to go through something like that and then have to recover from it. Basically, because Jessica turned to drinking, he turns to drugs and whatever. He tries to kill the guy. Basically, it fits into the whole story that they were trying to portray there.
Yeah, and I loved watching these series. Like, I binged it over the weekend when it first came out. And I also did a solo review about it, but
what's their rating from? Are they R-rated? Do they do show? Do the TV shows have the same rating as the movies?
It's classified differently it's classified for mature audiences.
Okay.
So it's basically,
it's an R
for
rating,
TV.
and Netflix shows you what. Here's the thing: to release this in the movies, you're looking at a different audience. But this is what basically a lot of superhero movies want to do, but they can't because they want to keep a bigger audience, so they go PG-13 route.
Yeah, like Batman and.
And even what they did with the Avengers, I mean, till Deadpool came out, nobody was really considering doing an R-rated movie.
As far as Marvel and DC Comics
I don't
goes,
know what
we've seen
Christopher
R-rated.
Nolan's Batman was.
It was PG-13.
So even there, it was a darkish thing, but they still kept it PG-13. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: those movies would have worked better had they been rated R. But because you try to put them out there in the movie theaters, you want a bigger audience, you don't do it. With the TV series, it's different. You can make it R rated, and basically it lets you enjoy the fullness of the TV show, if you get my meaning. Just from the standpoint that had they gone PG-13, a lot of this stuff would have been different.
Yeah, and we're talking about R rating for Marvel and DC movies.
Yeah.
Because we've seen R-rated comic book movies before.
I mean,
And even Marvel did it with Blade and maybe a few others, but it's a rare occurrence because they want to...
in movies it's different because you want to draw in a bigger audience, you want to make more money at the box office. With
So,
TV shows it's different because you get marketing stuff and whatever. But it allows you to do something that's R-rated or mature audience rated and basically get the fullness of, because this show would have been a lot different had they not be for mature audiences.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them stick out. Plus the writing, plus the acting.
Oh, definitely.
Netflix has yet to fail with the casting. No matter what people say, from Daredevil to Jessica to Iron Fist and to Luke Cage, they got their castings right. Both main characters and the supporting cast have been on point throughout. They did 5 different shows now with 2 Daredevil seasons.
To Daredevil,
So
it's
you have
3
5.
shows.
So you have 5 different seasons.
4 shows. 4 shows, 5
So you're looking at 5 seasons of different TV shows, and they have yet to mess it up when it comes to casting. And the writing is still there.
Definitely.
Writing is there. They're not phoning this stuff in. They're not overdoing it. They're not underdoing it. They're keeping a standard.
I agree. So, what would you rate season 1 of Jessica Jones?
23, but mostly I probably would have gone lower because I liked Luke Cage better than I liked Jessica. But like I said, Jessica has the best villain yet.
I like Jessica more than I did Luke Cage, so... But I'm gonna give her...
But 22, 23 is kind of what I'm sticking with.
I'm gonna go with 22 out of 30 as well. So...
As you can see, we like these shows. We like even the darker side of them, that will make them better.
Yeah.
Like we said, writing's there, acting's there, casting's there. And as long as they keep it up, and I really do, they hope and think that they will, we're looking at some great shows coming up.
Yeah. Well, they announced Jessica Jones season 2 after The Defenders.
They announced Punisher.
Punisher series also after Defenders. We have yet to see what's gonna happen with Daredevil season 3.
What they're gonna do with Elektra, Luke Cage, what they're gonna do with Iron Fist.
Because
the more the merrier.
Yeah, in our opinion, and we can wait to see them all team up in Defenders this summer. So
Only bad thing about the Defenders is only 8 episodes.
So, yeah.
Unlike the 13 that the regular shows have been getting, Defenders are gonna go 8
but I think they're
episodes.
gonna be faster paced and we'll be introduced to the characters. They're just gonna
which is why they did the solos first, or when they give you the Defenders.
Yeah.
But they're probably gonna leave you wanting for more at the end of it.
Probably, most likely. So that's it from us for now. We'll
like, subscribe and stuff.
Yeah, and we'll be coming with Daredevil seasons 1 and 2 in the same review pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Patch Bros.